the draft ready whenever you are. But I think we need to start at the same time though. So.
So to introduce this, the Forsaken, and one more wave. Boom. The new draft, guys. Here it is.
So you'll have to let me know when you're starting the draft though.
All right, ready? Let's start the draft in 3, 2, 1. Start replay. And here it goes.
Oh, it's exciting.
It's exciting, yeah, because now we get to see the draft in real time. So how this is going to work is both teams have to ready up. So we're watching them, watching the Forsaken currently. They're getting ready to start picking their drafts, and One More Wave has to do the same. And there they go. Hey. This is all live. So our first ban is going to be Bellica from the Forsaken, and that's actually a pretty good ban because Ozzy Bear has a very strong Bellica. He's One More Wave's mid laner. And we're gonna see who One More Wave bans out.
Thing is, with the Bellica, she's so multi-versatile that she can be played in support, mid lane, off lane. So you clear a lot of options there if you take away the Bellica. And then we're going to see a ban out for Revenant, which I'm not really surprised because he's still such a snowbally hero. If you can get him rocking early, yeah, he's he can just carry on and just basically take the game.
And the next ban is going to be Revenant from One More Wave. Revenant, very strong here right now, probably the most snowbally character in the game. Forsaken follows it with FaZe, and then I believe that's a Howitzer and Decker pick for One More Wave, so that the classic combos coming in.
Yeah, I mean, to talk about the FaZe pickup, this is going to be the first event where we've been allowed to use the FaZe. So it's going to be interesting to see how she's used. We haven't really seen it in any of the PCLs up until this weekend. And then obviously, yeah, Decker, Scylla go to support, and along with the Howitzer, sets up a nice wombo combo.
Yeah, and Sparrow's coming out of FaZe, of Forsaken right now, so that's going to be a good pick. Especially...
Yeah, with the FaZe, anything that can key off that ultimate and that attack speed boost that you get, so something like a Sparrow or a Grux, anything like that really keys off that attack speed will do. We're going to see him absolutely tear through teams if they can get that combination off.
All right, and then Forsaken taking a quick second to pick their second pick for that one is going to be Kwong. One More Wave very assured of who they want. They're going to pick up the Twin Blast and Morgesh immediately without even hesitation. So they're obviously showing confidence in their picks. Forsaken, wants to take things a little more carefully. They're actually running out of time right here for the last picks. 3, 2, 1. If you don't pick, it's going to assign you, I believe, a random hero. No, you
get the extra time. I think you get extra time, but I think that extra time is given for the entirety of your draft.
Oh, okay.
Those extra 30 seconds, I believe, are across your team, not per pick.
And yeah, so let's see if they go, because they're actually running out of time. They're going to pick up the gadget for the mid lane. And their last pick of the game.
The timer hasn't reset, you see, so the extra time hasn't reset, so that's across your team.
This is actually pretty interesting, watching this actually play out. And there's Chimera! That is going to be an interesting pick, because Chimera is very snowbally. He's got the potential to really carry off, but he's a feast or famine hero. If you don't get ahead, you're...
Yeah. He's very engage happy. Put it that way. The thing is, I find, as I've been playing the meta, it's come around where Chimera is getting more and more... He can get really well deep into the enemy back lines. And if any enemy is trying to escape and there's a Chimera about, it's very difficult to do because...
He's not gonna stop.
It seems to not have a cooldown at some point. So, yeah. And then the last pickup we're going to see here from One More Wave is the Grux. Probably still the best jungler in the game, along with Sevarog. Yeah. Who do you reckon wins out in this draft?
Draft-wise, I'm going to say One More Wave has the stronger synergy. They have an assassin, they have a wombo combo, hard CC from Decker, and Twin Blast is probably one of the top ADCs in the game right now. He's my favorite ADC right now just because I find his build so versatile. Because he's so ability focused. You could build weird things on him, like Ash the Witch, still viable. Thick Blood. Instead of using that 6-point power cord, I can take a 4-point thick blood, and I'm hucking so many grenades and so many triple shots, it's going to blight everything. Like even Tainted Magic, if you really want to try Tainted Magic, that could be a viable build for him because he's so ability centric. It opens up a lot for him.
I think he's quite similar to Revenant in that regards, where he's got the burst through abilities rather than just straight, auto attacking. Not like a hero like
Sparrow.
A Sparrow or a Yin, where they rely on their auto attacks. They have actually abilities that makes them feel like you're doing something more other than holding left click down.
Yeah, and the other thing about Chimera is that I like the Chimera pick, but he needs the team to be with him. If the team doesn't have the proper synergy, you don't need full synergy, you just need it with some of your team. And if you don't have the proper synergy, then it's going to be really, really hard to follow up on him. And if he falls behind, like, yeah, he's engage happy, but if Chimera falls behind, you can engage all you want. You're still going to die because you don't have the CP to follow up with it. You're just not leveled to the other team, and you're going to die over and over and over again just trying to engage. Trust me, I've been there. I've experienced this. It's less than exciting going 3-10 just so you can try and, like, win the game. But we're going to get into game in just a second, guys. I'm going to switch back to our caster screen so I can get the game loaded up. There's still some manual things we can't have everything automatic just yet.
We will do eventually. We're still progressing. I'd like to think that we're from where we started, we've come a long way. We've got further to go yet, but just things like that draft screen, the teams. We found that the players are a lot more. It used to be the Narendra was pulling his hair out with players asking questions, but I've not heard him really complaining. He's had 120 teams, so I think the player base as a whole is getting better at this competitive environment and knowing how to draft.
Especially now that they've seen it.
Yeah.
Like they know what's going on, right? So now that they've seen it,
I think that it helps them understand the drafting phase when they see. I think it helps you grow as a player because you understand why someone's picked that in a game. If you're just watching it rather than playing it, you think, all right, I can see why they've picked that to counter this hero or take it away from the certain player. It allows the player base as a whole to understand more what the drafting phase constitutes.
So it's really interesting to see because we've come so far with the competitive scene from the early days of when it was just Shane and Notch plugging away, doing their weekend tournaments, like stuff like that, like the early days when we only had 20 heroes, not even.
Yeah,
it was really basic, but we've really the progression we've seen over here, especially putting Pith on board. I've never seen someone I don't watch a lot of production, but I've never seen someone with the production knowledge that Pith has, and that's really cool to see throughout, as well as just Narendra coming in. His admin abilities are incredible. Nate, you're a beautiful human being too. I can't leave you out, man. I know.
Well, I'm ready with the game. I don't know if you are. I'm eager to see some Paragon.
Let's get some Paragon going. By the way, guys, quickly, check the match arena out. You can support the prize pool, and we're gonna start that off. Game 1, the second stream for the PCL. No, not the PCL. The exhibition NA qualifiers, brought to you by the PCL. Starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go. All right, here we go. Let's transition into the game screen. Get the good stuff going to introduce One More Wave, who's already 5-man just grouping ready, I believe, for an invade. So we'll hold off. We'll hold off on the introductions because I think it's going to be a very bloody first 2 minutes of the game, just the way these teams are positioning. We do have Azubear going in first. There's the wards, and there's the engagement. Stun's gonna go down, and Smyfly is gonna get picked. They're gonna keep on running through, looking towards the green buff now. 2 wards in the enemy jungle. They're even going towards the mid of the tier 1 and tier 2. And now they're looking to disengage, and that will be your first view of One More Wave on the to introduce the teams. Azubear is the mid laner, and his main is Howitzer. He's like the NA version of Mikey. Squishy Flap is their new support. on Decker. Sour, traditionally an ADC, is the offlaner, and he's going to be on Morigesh. Obamacare, the ADC for One More Wave, rocking the Twin Blast and IDOC. We've seen him before, almost solo carry a few games back in a couple of the PCLs, is on his Grux. You can take this away, Nate.
And for Forsaken, we have Krispy Kreme 2992 on the Chimera. Sway rocking the gadget in his mid lane as we see him taking a lot of poke damage from Azibert there.
Mm-hmm.
Torrento-san, the Quang. Smyfly 5 is going to be the Sparrow. And Kershi? Is that how
I think that is, yeah, I believe Kershi.
Is the phase.
It's like Churchy, but with a K. Sort of.
Oh,
not really.
I have got an interesting...
Do you have a bug already?
I have a bug that I cannot select another hero other than Howitzer.
Looks like you're on the drone screen, my friend. All right.
I'm on the hero chest. Okay.
Just to, if you want to reload, you can go ahead. I'll follow through
so
here.
You keep going. I'll see if I can fix this.
All right. Now, just to give kind of an introduction to the team, Ozzy Bear, very aggressive, likes to push up, very mechanically skilled. So some of his favorite spots right now is actually seeing that gadget on that staircase for the Howitzer mine. He's actually going to rotate into the jungle. He's looking for that green buff to take it away from Krispy Kreme. He's going to start poking down the Chimera. This could be bad, but he realizes that the gadget is rotating, and he's going to walk back into lane, take a little bit of poke damage from the sticky mine. Squishy Flat rotating the mid lane, lands a stasis bomb. There's the Howitzer mine I was just talking about. Gadget trying to get away, but the R2000 rocket is there to end it. 3 minutes of the game, both rivers are going to be the red buff. Ida picking up one, and Azzybear picking the second, and we are already seeing the pressure come out of One More Wave as they jump onto Krispy Kreme in the enemy jungle. Azzybear rotating as well. Double pain coming out from IDOC. Krispy Kreme trying to survive. He might bleed out. No! Gets away with less than 15 health. Squishy Flap comes in from behind their tier 2, throws the stasis bomb, and will actually land it. Apparently we got Kobe on the team, Nate.
So I'm just sliding back. Can you just give me a quick time check, Jack?
All right, gonna be 345, 46.
Oh, what a
7.
guess!
Did you guess right?
Yeah, I'm bang on. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, we're gonna see an engagement here from IDOC on Kershi.
In the right lane, there's a smash and grab right off the double pain. There is a stasis bomb landing for Squishy Flaps, and Sour is going to use the mark to pick up the kill. Already 4 minutes into the game, we are seeing the score 4-0, 7 assists. So we're seeing One More Wave show a lot of team synergy right off the bat. I think they want a piece of the pie.
I think the combination of the heroes are using very well. Brooks just getting engaged from behind. The Decker stasis or straight into a mark and just takes it down. So be careful here. Krispy Kreme's going to try and do what he can to get her to run back to her tower.
And there's the second leap, the oppressive leap you were just talking about. They're not going to dive for Krispy Kreme, but he's flailing away. Oh, he managed to pick the kill. He might be able to get to the tower, and he does. So that is going to be a Forsaken putting themselves on the map with 1 kill out of the Chimera, which is, I give them hats off, because when you see that early game aggression, a lot of teams start to get demoralized or dissuaded. They want to play more safely. They're trying not to get caught out. But Krispy Kreme, he's showing he's ready to fight. He went in. He got himself a kill.
We've got a rotation of Azzybear's gone over to this duel and just try and help push down this tower. I think we want to try and get this tower down as quickly as possible, by the way.
And there is a landmine popping out the Quang from the tower. R2000 rocket followed by the grenade from Obamacare. Squishy Flat going to the auto attack. IDOC rotating around with Krispy Kreme as Obamacare's chasing down the kills. Krispy Kreme now jumping on top of the Twin Blast. Tower does go down, and it's going to be Squishy Flat to fall to the Chimera. Smash and grab. Krispy Kreme down in trouble as he goes for a 3v1. Obamacare is going to pick up the kill and avenge his fallen support. There was also an engagement in the mid lane. IDOC rotating onto the gadget as Azzybear rotated into the right lane. So I'm not too sure if gadget went down there. No, she didn't.
So I've now got the mini-map book. We're having some fun today with the client.
Technical issues. This is a general issue, but still, it wouldn't be the second stream without a few bugs on the way, guys.
Oh, Gadget may have bit off more than she can chew. Going to investigate what's happening in the jungle.
And that is Ozzy Bear going to pick up yet another kill. IDOC landing a great smash and grab. I think Gadget was just there to land a ward.
Yeah.
Didn't work out so hot.
He's doing real work. He's popping up in all lanes. He's got 4 assists. He hasn't got any of the kills, but he's, you know, this is what you want from the jungle. You want him to be rotating. You want him to be a presence in the lanes. And you can afford to miss out on a little bit of that farm, providing you're making those successful ganks. If you keep going to rotate into lane, I mean, it's a bit different in comp, but in like pub matches, if you keep rotating to lane and you don't get anything from it, you can get really frustrated and you just stop the ganks coming and then you start to suffer. But when you have these sort of rotations from your jungler, that's when the team starts to really work.
Because if you're if you're not farming and if the ganks don't come off properly, they're not successful, you're so far behind at that point you can't gank anymore. You need to sit there and farm for the next 5-10 minutes.
So I don't picked himself a purple up here. He's just gonna show the ward. They're gonna take that off.
Yeah.
Look like gonna be D-ward there.
Rotating into the jungle once again as we see Krispy Kreme not aware that there is 3 people not too far off from him. Swishy Flaps is gonna land the stun and the slow. Sour's going off with the mark. IDOC trying to engage now. He gets the clap with the Warlord's challenge. Smash and grab, and Sour is one to finish off the kill. Sparrow and FaZe nearby weren't able to help their team. Too quick to rotate coming out of one more wave. Now Tyrannosan rotating in. We're seeing a very, very aggressive and action-packed first 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, one more wave, really. They're grouping well. I don't want to say... Using the term death ball sounds like a dirty word, like especially to the Paragon community. But if the enemy are allowing you to rotate and take those fights and pick off the jungler in his quote-unquote safe jungle...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's effective.
And we are seeing there is the landmine coming out of one again, followed by the big R2000 rocket. Obamacare walking in, goes for the grenade. Sway walking out with just a little bit of health, using the tower for the protection so that the ventilate will not be able to finish it off and land in the left lane. Now we have another engagement as Sour and Smyfly start to poke each other out. Mid lane. Back to mid lane. We are seeing the tower start to go down. Krispy Kreme trying to clear out the wave, but a Chimera can only do so much. He's going to jump on top of Ozzy Bear, lands the big cull, but not a lot of damage. Ozzy Bear is a whole level ahead of the jungler on Forsaken right now. Not going to take a whole lot of damage out of that as another wave starts to pop into the tower, and they're completely pummeling the turret. There is IDOC the smash and grab on the Kwong, who gets completely deleted by Ozzy Bear.
Yeah, it's one way to... It looks like they're really going to try and focus these Raptors. They managed to take the safe lane, tier 1. They managed to take the mid lane, tier 1. That just gives them so much map control over those Raptor areas now. Probably going to see a lot of wards coming down into this Forsaken offside jungle. Actually see...
Yeah. It's currently 8-2 right now. If we're looking at the CP, Nate, farm wise, we see one more wave, 100 farm ahead of
so yeah, 93 to 190. So that's over double. That's over double they've got so far. So they're making effective ganks and keeping farm up. This is a team that means to close this game out. They've got a stranglehold in the CS, they've got a stranglehold in the objectives, and they're just looking to push their advantage right now.
And this is why I wanted to showcase one of the teams, because they're definitely an up and coming team to watch throughout the qualifiers. Like, we have 126 teams. Most of them are teams that no one has heard of. They're all newly formed. You know, everyone wants to get serious for the exhibition, right? Yeah. So I thought seeing the roster, seeing these guys, they'd be a team to watch out for, and you know, I wanted to kind of showcase them, give them a little bit of love.
Sway has to be careful.
And he gets
by a group.
Yeah, and there's the landmine once again. Ozzy Bear finishing it off with the R2000. It's pretty much muscle memory for him at this point with that landmine R2000 combo. My God.
So not shout to Raptors, gonna take that 5-cam, that juicy 5-cam first off. Still not going to rotate into Raptors just yet.
No, they're looking to push down their tier 2 in the mid lane. Black buff up with purple buff up at 11 minutes.
This is good buff discipline from them. I don't think they've failed to secure a river buff yet.
No, it looks like they're all good. Azubir taking the black buff. He's rotating into the enemy jungle once again, all by himself. Mid lane is Idok. Slams a smash and grab on Kwong. Stasis Gem follows up. Where's the landmine? Oh, not going to use the landmine just yet. He's going to go for the auto attack using the black buff to burn him down. But Squishy Flaps.
Squishy Flap picks a kill.
Yeah. And now we have Sour and Moragesh, or Sour on Moragesh with Krispy Kreme and Chimera going for a little bit of Squall in the jungle. They're now on top of the Amber Link. You don't see a lot of this, but when you see it, it's kind of BM and showing absolute dominance. They're now walking behind the tier 1 turret, putting themselves in an awkward position. They're going for the Chimera who gets to back. And now Smyfly and Kershey are in a weird position with literally the entire team minus Obamacare, who's actually split pushing off in the left lane, stuck behind the tier 1 tower. And they're going to be able to get the free pass on leaving, as Obamacare going for those split push strats, getting half the damage of the tier 2 down in the off lane.
So Obamacare is now on 21 CXP to Smyfly's 13. So he's really, you know, again, we always tend to use the ADC as a metric of how well the team is doing, how well they're fed. And he's 8 points ahead and 12 minutes into the game. And they haven't even gone on to Raptors yet. That's just from CS and kills.
Sour going for the stab link. Idok charging in as well, getting the smash and grab. Kershey might be going down. However, FaZe has that health regen that we've been seeing for the past few weeks. Was that one auto? He two-shotted him. Oh my god. There's the Stasis Gem, Stasis Bomb going out of Squishy Flaps. It will miss, but the landmine will not. Obamacare falling it once again. He gets himself a double kill. Quenching Scales will regen the team's health as they're now looking to siege down yet another lane. Tier 1 will fall. No one will be able to contest that. No one is actually even there. Kershey's still level... Yeah.
He's actually pushing down the opposing tower, but I don't think that's where he needs to be right now. I think they need to consolidate and try and
defend that tower.
They're going to carry on pushing down this lane and just push down this tier 2.
Yeah. Coming out of draft, this is one of the. This is why I gave one more. Oh, there is the Decker Cage combo onto the Sparrow. FaZe trying to pull her out, but she just bounces right into the wall. The angle is not in the right place. Tier 2 tower looking to fall right now. And Sway is going to drop the sticky mine, try and clear the wave just a little bit. Won't be enough. Kwon did get the tier 1 tower in the left lane, but at the cost of a tier 2, and I think it's going to be prime now as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we're going to see a 15-minute prime here.
Prime hasn't even spawned yet, and they're looking to grab it. Purple buff is there right now.
Sat there waiting for it to drop down.
I see we're picking up the purple buff. Gonna regen that mana. We are seeing a lot of ward coverage coming out of the orange team right now, as they have been invaded like several times by now. So they're gonna start learning.
What Forsaken need to do is consolidate, try and group up a little bit more, because they're tending to get isolated, and the rotations for those team fights, they're rolling in one by one rather than coming in as a force. So it's difficult for them to really get anything, because this one more wave team is just, the communications on point. You can see with how the landmine, the CC chain, they're not just blasting it all at once. They're actually chaining the CCs to get the most out of the CCs as they can get.
And at that point, you're basically saying he doesn't get to play this game today. He dies.
That's what you do, is make that power play where you make it a 4v5. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I think in the proper 5v5 matchups are going to try and focus this FaZe, because any ADC that's attached to a FaZe is going to be a really difficult proposition to take down.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to be a high priority target when it comes to the team fighting. But other than that, you know, it's whoever comes close enough to get that that howitzer mine underneath them. Basically, that's going to be the target.
And Azubir is really, really good at landing those howitzer mines, as you've seen so far. Is almost surgical with those things. Idok now pushing down the tier 2 with the rest of his team. Obamacare and Squishy Flaps are rotating as well. Tyranno-san learned the mistake of his teammate, and he's not going to defend that by himself. He's going to wait as the inhib is starting to be pushed down. There is Krispy Kreme jumping on top of Obamacare, but the green buff there to stop it. He gets blown up by Obama, just quarter healthing him with one auto attack. Sticky bomb goes out. It will miss, as well as the Seek and Destroys. Obamacare taking damage under the tower, getting a little fresh with the enemy team. That Kwong sword landed. he would have been in a little bit of trouble. And there is the wave clear coming out. Oh, good stasis bomb. Ozzy Bear going over the landmine, knocking the team back instead of forward as IDOC goes in for the smash and grab, which will also miss. Tyranno-san using the ultimate on Kwang. They actually managed to pick up a kill onto IDOC. And that is going to be a failed siege for one more wave. Forsaken still showing that they are willing to play this game, and they're going to do what they can to stay in it.
See, then this is what they needed to. I think this is what they needed: a siege and an inhibitor to get the team together, and just show that, you know, they can take a fight if they approach it properly. But at the minute, they're just a little bit disheveled, a little bit all over the place at the minute. So I think they're still trying to get their foot in, because right from, you know, the 30-second mark, this one more wave team have just been pushing down towers like they weren't even there.
They haven't stopped. Absolutely have not stopped. Double black spawning right now. Very good news for one more wave as they are rotating over. Sour going to be picking up the one on the right side by Orb Prime. Obamacare. Oh, Sour getting engaged on by Krispy Kreme. He's looking to get out. The blind from FaZe will come off. And he's just rotating. There's Ozzy Bear to help out. Soon as Kershey sees the howitzer, he pulls his Chimera right out of there. Says, nope, we ain't dealing with this.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to put a leash on that Chimera. The guy just wants to go. Sometimes you got to pull him back.
See, like,
bad Chimera.
The way I describe FaZe and Chimera is having a FaZe ulted Chimera is like having a rabid, coked up pit bull on a leash that you just that hasn't eaten in a while, and you just let him go. But occasionally you need to kind of like yank the chain and get him back, right?
Bad. Just give him a tree and point it towards a jungle camp or something.
I mean, personally, that's one of the biggest strengths with FaZe is that tether to pull your team back. Especially in solo queue, if anyone had the chance yet, you can refocus your teammates. If someone's starting to chase someone they shouldn't, you just say, no, you come back here. Bad. Go this way.
BM hero we've actually had where you've actually had the ability to affect your teammates in a really direct way. Because other than that, I mean, you can sort of steal their last hits, or, you know, there's not a great way, but now you've got a way to physically move them around the map. So when someone is annoying you, there's just nothing you can do about it either.
And there's Kwang landing the Judgment of the Heavens to get himself away from the enemy team. We do see the primed up one more wave going to siege that turret once again. They do have the waves pushing against them in all but the lane they're looking to siege. So if the Forsaken does get it, there is the R2000 Rock getting to poke off on Sway. The Gadget Tesla Dome is dropped. Obamacare in a bit of trouble, but Krispy Kreme getting blown up as no one is there to follow up on him. And Obamacare just completely obliterating the Kwang right after. And this is what I was talking about in draft. If Chimera doesn't get the feast he needs and the team to back him up, it doesn't matter how well your engages are. The team just looks at you and just goes, you're out.
I mean, we said this before the game even started. Chimera, that is very much that hero, isn't he? He's just, if he gets rolling, he's gonna just basically tear through teams. If he doesn't, he's just
there.
Well, he's an elderly dog that just doesn't want to play fetch anymore.
He's going to the vet to be put down, and the other team's the vet. sort of situation, right? Inhibitor will fall without much contention. And we do have the tier 2 in the mid lane now looking to go down.
Yeah, it's one more wave, very systematic, not really so that they couldn't push into the core. So right, we're going to take this how we started it. We're just going to carry on going tower by tower and just destroying it piece by piece and just demolishing this Forsaken.
Yeah, Forsaken doesn't know how to react. There's Krispy Kreme engaging onto IDOC, trying to landmine will peel him off as Kershey's going to get the root off onto Obamacare. Smyfly trying to get in, but won't get close enough as everyone on Forsaken is at least 2 or 3 levels under everyone else. We are seeing Krispy Kreme get blown up once again by IDOC with the smash and grab as the phased ulted Sparrows trying to chew through the enemy team. They're trying to stay away. Sour getting the mark and Curse off onto the Gadget. And that's going to be a killing spree for the Moragesh. They don't get the inhib. Oh, Sour going again. There is, oh my god, the damage. Oh, not even FaZe healing can help that. There is Kwang going in with Heaven's Fury, and he's going to get some damage off the Sour, but that will cost them the inhibitor. I don't think it will be game, but it's going to be a very tough comeback for Forsaken. Sorry for the camera, guys. With one more wave, absolutely demolishing and ripping through. They're coming in as a force. They mean business.
Yeah, I think. One more wave. Don't need to push it anymore. They've done the damage now. They've, Forsaken are now slowly bleeding out. All one more wave need to do. Go back, set lanes. They've got minions pushing into these tier 2s. To go and set the lanes, then pick the lane they want to go down. Do they either want to go straight into the core, try to get a pick and then push a 5v4 situation, or, it'd feel bad if they left the tower standing, how systematically they've gone through and destroyed each of the towers. They haven't even rotated onto Raptors. Neither of the teams have really had a sniff at Raptors.
Well, that's the one thing about One More Wave I'm noticing is... Like, they've been very strong this game, but I feel like they're not prioritizing the objectives properly. Like, when we see the more known teams, Reborn, Finesse, Oxy, when they get a pick at that 10-minute mark and anything after, they're going on those Raptors every 4 minutes.
I don't think they're not prioritizing objectives. They've taken towers, and they've done it quickly and efficiently without losing anybody. They've taken Prime very quickly with no real contention from the enemy team. So I don't think they're not prioritizing objectives. I think they're prioritizing the objectives that they deem necessary. And they feel that they haven't had a need to take Raptors. They're out farming, they're out CSing. Why? They can just keep pushing. It's just a time sink to go in and try and take those Raptors when they can push down a tower.
Yeah, and there's Gadge landing the sticky home. IDOC just there to absorb the damage. He's bugged right now. He's been bugged for most of the game. So unfortunately, we don't know how much damage he's actually taking. He's still level 5 for me.
Yeah, I had to actually reset that.
Yeah, he's still level 5 for me. So that's kind of the situation on Grux. The sticky bomb goes out to try and clear the wave, and there is Krispy Kreme diving onto Sour, doing a little bit of damage. However, 3-man containment field from Azzy Bear, Squishy Flap, and the smash and grab to finish it off. That's going to be a triple kill for Azzy with one ability, the ultimate. Last inhibitor goes down. Last one alive is Torreno-san, who gets poked out. There's IDOC dashing in. Torreno-san going to use the quenching skills to get under the tower. He's had enough of it. I don't think he's going to try and home. He's going to try and defend. IDOC going with the smash and grab to finish it off. He gets the Heaven's Fury off. Not enough damage. Won't dissuade One More Wave. They are going to finish the game. Final score 23-4. My God.
Yeah, very good game. Very impressed there. One More Wave. Forsaken, they did the best they could, but I think they're against a very experienced team. A very experienced. I even recognise players in this One More Wave team. So if I recognise them being from EU, it means that they're a level that I've recognised them from the NA. So they must be a skill cap where I'm watching them play against players like from the likes of Reborn, etc., because I've seen them in streams. So I know that they're around the MMR cap at the very least.
Yeah.
I've got to say, IDOC as a jungler, 16 assists. 16 assists. That tells the story in itself. Do you know what I mean? He was on his point where he still had 107 farm while having 16 assists. He's managed to push down 6 towers. He's been involved in 6 towers as well. So he was all the way around the map, but also managing to maintain a good farm and a good CS. Obamacare just solid. What can you say? He just did what he was asked to do. Sour was impressed because he took the engagements all the time. As soon as any sort of retaliation came onto him, he'd be scurrying through, weaving through his teammates, round a pillar back, and then throwing out another mark, and then another hive, etc. So I was impressed by his play. Squishy Flop was being, I think I showed him missed 2 stasis bombs, and Azzy Bear, yeah. I think you did him a justice throughout this game with all the mines and the R2000s, the Ender Dreams, if you like to call them. He started picking up 7 kills and 11 assists for himself. So yeah, I'm very impressed with this One More Wave team, and like to see how they progress further into the tournament.
I'm pretty excited. Yeah, showcasing them, they deserved it. They need to just be put on the map, team to watch. A lot of potential. I think they have a lot of room to grow as individual players as well. They're all skilled, but there's a lot of room for them to keep going, right? And that's going to be really cool to see as the team starts playing more throughout the qualifiers and gets that synergy down, and gets, you know, that the strategies going when the team starts working well, because they've only been playing together for about a month now in solo queue and scrims.
Yeah.
And they don't scrim very often because they're all late night players. Like they there's no one on at 2 a.m. when they're all on. Sort of situation.
Sort of times I could probably get to see them, I suppose. So yeah.
Yeah. But I do like we are pumping one more wave a lot, but I want to give Forsaken a bit of a shout out for these games because they still tried. They didn't roll over. They did what they could. You know, they just put themselves in a spot where even when they were getting steamrolled, you still saw them try and show that aggression, try and match that aggression, try and make those plays. And you don't see that very often.
You know, got to give credit to everybody who's entered this tournament, and you know, because people can talk big, but unless you step up and go into that arena, and at least you can say, I tried. I had the gumption to come in and have a go at these teams, and you know, if nothing else, they learn something from this. As long as you learn something and take something from every match, you know, and they might not go on and win this tournament, but if they learn something, so when they go on to further tournaments or further games in pub games, and they can take something from it, that's good. That's a good thing to learn, and they can progress as a player, and they can come back, and they could be the new Reborn, the Oxygen, the Finesse. But everyone's going to start somewhere, and if they took something from today, you know, good on them for at least coming and showing up and giving them a game. You know, that could have gone a hell of a lot quicker, but at least they put up a good fight, and they took a couple. They blooded the nose. One More Wave didn't have it all their own way, so that's a good point to them at least. All
right, guys, we're gonna get the next game set up. It's going to be Pretend Pros versus the Exiles. So we'll have that set up in just a second. I am Geronimo Jack. This is Nate Holmes. You're watching Stream 2 of the Exhibition NA Qualifiers, and we'll be right back with some more Paragon.